World Cup. Take a look back at some of the greatest moments from the Socceroos across the last 3 World Cups. With a group of players worth more than $1 billion, anything other than a win against Australia will be deemed a failure for France in its World Cup opener. The Socceroos will be out to spoil the party, even if no one expects them to make an impact. Here's everything you need to know about Australia's opening match against the French in Russia. When is it, and how can I watch? The game starts at 8 p.m. Est on Saturday, June 16. SBS will be broadcasting the match live, while Optus Sport is also showing the game on its streaming service. News.com.au will be running a live vlog of the match and have all the reaction and analysis after the full-time whistle. How Aussies can make an impact at tournament favorite. There's every chance France could go on and win the whole thing. Filled with stars like Paul Pogba, Kylian Mbappé and striker Antoine Griezmann, Les Bleus have enough talent in their squad. Whether they have the temperament and discipline remains to be seen. Traditionally a slow starter, France lost to Senegal in 2002, drew with Switzerland in 2006, and didn't win a game in 2010. If the Aussies can exploit that trend and come away with a point, it will go a long way towards getting out of the group. A loss would not be catastrophic, but the men in gold can't afford to concede too many goals. A 4-0 opening round defeat to Germany in 2010 crippled our campaign as the Aussies failed to progress on goal difference. What can we expect from the Aussies? Australia prepared for the tournament with 2 wins in its last friendlies, but is not expected to get plenty of chances against France. The Socceroos will focus on defending well to avoid a repeat of their 4-0 loss to Germany in their opening game in South Africa 8 years ago. This is the approach advocated by coach Bert van Marwijk, who led the Netherlands to the 2010 World Cup final. He is on a short-term contract to replace Ange Postecoglou, who quit after guiding the Australians through Asian qualifying. The Australians aren't promising to play champagne football, but are focusing on an efficient game that could help it challenge France and avoid a morale-crushing heavy loss. How the players have adjusted to life under their new leader, who was installed in January, will make for interesting viewing. Postecoglou implored his men to keep possession and take risks, expressing a desire to play an attractive style of football that would not just get them to the World Cup, but make them a threat once they got there. On the other hand, Van Marwijk has said results take priority over style and has hinted he will focus on maintaining a compact defense while relying on scoring in transition. Australia's all-time leading scorer Tim Cahill has an opportunity to equal soccer legend Pelé in Russia. To do that, the 38-year-old forward needs to score for the 4th consecutive World Cup. Only Pelé, Jules Seeler and Miroslav Klose have achieved the feat. He said, anything can happen. When you're playing in front of a full house, you only need 1 split second to change a game and also change history. Why an Aussie miracle is on the cards. Having such star power assembled in Russia would be a dream for most coaches. For Didier Deschamps, it looks more like a headache. France's identity of play remains unclear. Many questions remain about the team's capacity to play as a unit during the tournament, 20 years after a French team led by Zinedine Zidane was crowned World Cup champion. We've got a great group with great individual players, midfielder Blaise Matuidi said. But we will need to use all these qualities for the benefit of the group. Having the best talents is not enough to go all the way. We will need soldiers, fighters. In 1998, France based its success on solid defending. In 2006, when Les Bleus finished runners-up to Italy in Berlin, the individual brilliance of Zidane was key, but that team is widely remembered for the relentless press it imposed on its rivals during the knockout phase. This squad has not developed the same qualities since reaching the final of the European Championship 2 years ago. Despite all their talent, Les Bleus have struggled for consistency and often appeared vulnerable in World Cup qualifying. They have no reason to be overconfident. Deschamps has tried several tactical options in the build-up to the tournament, including a diamond midfield 4-4-2 system with Olivier Giroud and Mbappé up front, and a 4-3-3 with Mbappé, Griezmann, and Ousmane Dembélé deployed in attack. After successive wins against Ireland and Italy, France was held to a 1-1 draw by a mediocre United States team in its last warm-up game last week. During that game, France missed several chances, defended poorly and clearly lacked explosiveness and speed. A repeat of such sloppiness will give the Socceroos a sniff. Among France's various concerns, the most serious is possibly keeper Hugo Lloris's worrying recent display. After making mistakes against Sweden, Colombia, and Italy, Lloris was at fault against the United States. Deschamps has stopped short of criticizing Lloris, who remains ahead of the error-prone Steve Mandanda and the inexperienced Alphonse Areola in the goalkeeper pecking order. France lacks a true leader on the pitch capable of galvanizing the team in difficult moments. Pogba says he wants to be that man, but the Manchester United star will need to be more influential to assume a leadership in Russia.